Evan Fairneny, welcome to the show. Happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
So Evan was the first golfer I ever interviewed. So I got him earlier this fall after a match. I think we were up at Sunapee, is that right?
Yeah, Lake Sunapee Country Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and it really opened my eyes up to the sport of golf and what goes on, a lot of the, struggles that golfers go through that, other sports players don't. And every sport has something that's unique to it. So there's a lot of stuff that's unique about golf. Do you want to start off with that or start off somewhere else?
Unique with golf. Yeah. I mean, it's totally like any other sport. I mean, it really comes down to you have a stick and you have a ball, you got to hit it, but it's different to that. It's very you have to have technique. You have to have it's very mentally draining, at least for me. Like after like 18 holes, I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
But it's when you're out on the golf course, it's very fun because all you're only thinking about is golf, which I feel like other athletes can say the same to their sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Let's get into it. I know that there's some other stuff, like for example, our soccer teams, we have baseball
Mhm.
teams, softball, whatever it is, track. They all get out of school and they end up just walking down to the field. With you guys, you have to get on a bus just to go to practice.
Yeah, so we have to get on the bus, the Twinkie. We have
Yeah,
to hop on the Twinkie every day, and then travel to Country Club in New Hampshire, which is about 30 minutes away.
yeah.
Hop on the highway and go there. Uh, and that just, I mean, it kind of takes you out of the loop because with soccer, like you said, you get to immediately practice, and we have that practice time cut a bit short for the bus ride, and especially back too. Um, so yeah, that's a tough part about the playing high school golf, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Something else that I noticed was that there's limited space. You only got like whatever it is, five,
But
six guys who can be on a team.
well, no. So last year we only had seven, and only six make matches.
Mhm.
Um, but last year was the first year that we had less than double digits on the team.
Okay.
So like I remember my freshman year we had we had 14. So there's only seven seats in the Twinkie, so it was two per seat. Uh, except the kid in the back he always gets his own seat, which is like usually the captain stuff. Um, but yeah, so you only take six, and then at least for this year, 2022,
Mhm.
we only took six, and the top four who actually score for the team get to stay on, and then the bottom two have to play out and practice
Okay.
the next day to see who goes to the next match.
Have you ever been involved in any of those?
Like yeah, to get into the next match. Yeah, so my freshman year, I can't remember who it was against, but I believe it was kind of like 1v1 to see who makes it.
Yeah.
So I believe I ended up winning that 1v1, or like winning against that person. I made it to the match. Forget 2019 is kind of a blur to
Yeah.
me a bit, but
So yeah, let's
yeah.
get into it a bit. So specifically to your career, you are graduating this upcoming spring. You're homeschooled, so we'll
Yep.
get into that. But
Mhm.
that means that 2019 was your freshman year. So
Yep.
what happened in 2019?
2019 was a good year. It was probably like the second best team that I've ever played on. I mean, we had Danny Miner, we had my brother Andrew Fairneny. Who else? We had Colby Marshall, who was in the top, um, and then Cody Dexter, of course. He was a sophomore that year. Um, so we had a really good team, and we had myself and then Hal Stokes. So that was our like top group of guys, very solid golfers all around, and it was a good year. We ended up coming second that year because the team that beat us was Trinity, and I didn't go to that match, but they beat us by a point, and the championship got rained out. from a nor'eastern and didn't get
Oh, wow.
rescheduled, which is it's pretty messed up that it didn't get rescheduled because I feel like if that was any other sport, it would probably get rescheduled.
Yeah.
So Trinity got away with that one, I feel like, because we were really raring to go, and we were really confident going into that match.
Yeah.
Didn't get to
So
play it,
that's
sadly.
unfortunate. Did that, just as a young guy playing that sport, because you were only, that was your first year in high school.
Yep.
Uh, did that kind of make you realize how valuable these years are that,
Oh,
yeah,
totally. I mean, I would tell anyone cherish every single like practice and like moment because now that I'm like done with golf and I was reflecting on it when I was writing my speech, I was like, dang, this it's all like over, I'm not gonna make those friendships or make those special bonds. Um, but it was definitely like I feel like that was like our year to win, and it was tough to not even get the chance to show like who we were and show ourselves as a team, uh, and show what we had. And it was sad because I mean the year was over and we didn't know that COVID was coming up, but
yeah.
it came up, and then it's kind of like those 2 years were not like a waste, but we didn't get to show who our like true form was, at
So
least for me.
yeah, for then you had COVID and that kind of came in, that wrecked spring sports. Spring sports were canceled that year. And then um there was still masks
Yeah.
on athletes. There was hand sanitizer around. Was that like specific to golf?
So golf, we had masks on the bus ride up and stuff, like around people. When we were playing the matches, I don't believe we had to wear masks, obviously, because we're playing golf and stuff like that. But on the greens, we were asked to like stay not away from each other, but like stay 6 feet apart,
Yeah, I
like
gotcha.
not like right next to each other, talking like really close to each other, which I get. I mean, obviously, but it was I feel not as hard on golf as other sports because other sports got canceled, which is pretty sad because that's like, a year. But I know my brother had like he graduated in COVID times, and it was like, he couldn't, we didn't have the graduation, we didn't have the awards night. It was kind of just like everyone spaced out for the awards night. No real, not, there was team bond still, and there's team like morale, but I mean, it was tough to like really make those like tight knit connections with your
Yeah,
friends and stuff.
I got you. So what did you take away from that year as a golfer?
As a golfer, once again, cherish every moment
Hmm.
for golf. But I mean, yeah, COVID, it was tough. And what do I take away from it? It's interesting. Uh,
You don't have to have an answer if nothing pops into mind right
yeah,
away.
nothing's really popping in.
That's okay. But then next year as a junior,
Mhm.
you really got a chance as a captain.
Yeah,
And then you had your friend Cody Dexter, who was
yep,
co-captain with you. What
yep.
was that season like, and what did it mean to you?
That was a great season. So you could ask any like Coach Chase and stuff like that. So like each season I was progressing in not only my golf game, but also my like character and my what is that word? I forget that word. But,
You're good.
my character and like
Leadership.
yeah, leadership and like what is that?
Just describe what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, leadership and kind of
You don't have to have a word for it. You can.
yeah, I forget the word. But yeah, leadership and just having, it was a good year, good team. I would say that yeah, that was probably one of the top teams that we had that year because we had Cody Dexter and I was co-captain. It was kind of what we said going into the year. It was like, I'll be bad cop, he'll be good cop, but it didn't really happen. We were both like kind of chill and stuff.
Yeah.
That year was good. I won sportsmanship award for that year. Um, it was just fun. I love the team aspect of golf, especially. Golf is like you're like it's just you and yourself when you're playing golf. and you're against yourself, in my opinion. Um, but I love the team aspect. I love what it like does for the game of golf and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that year was good. Yeah, we came fourth, I believe.
What was your record?
We went 16-2, I
16
believe,
and
that
2.
year.
Yeah, we got it.
We made playoffs all 4 years that I played,
Mhm.
which only 8 teams make it. And that year we were in Division 3, and I think the final match was at Laconia Country
Okay.
Club.
So, what do you do during the off season to prepare? Because this was your senior season.
So last off season I uh dropped a lot of weight. So Coach Chase told my dad at individuals my junior year. He said to my dad, because they were riding in the cart together. He said he looked at me. He was like, "If Evan drops 20 pounds, he'll be a stud on the golf course." That's what he said, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I took that to heart. I really did. Looked at myself in the mirror, and in a year, I've lost 50 pounds,
Wow. Hey,
and
congrats to you, brother. That's
thank you. I
incredible.
appreciate that. And it's a long way to go still, of course, for me at least, but it definitely you could tell a difference. Like
Yeah.
even like coach like halfway through the year at one match, I know he came up to me and he was like, "Wow, like you're leaving the people in the dust." When it used to be like I was like lagging behind walking, but I was like right out of the gun walking, and
Yeah.
like he didn't even recognize me and stuff. And I thought that was really cool. And it's just really good to see that like all that work paid off, especially in my golf game too, because had more energy. I wasn't like get gassed at like the sixth hole or whatever, I was, I had a pep in my step, as you can say, or something like that.
So do you feel like Coach Chase and your love of the game really inspired you to, lose weight and just try and get in better shape and just
Oh yeah,
improve? Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, Coach Chase was definitely he helped with that, but I mean, I kind of just took his advice and like snowball effect it. Uh, and it's good for my mental and stuff like that. I feel like it was very good with my mental, and yeah.
Let's get into the specifics of this season. 29 and 1.
Hmm.
That's an incredible record. You
Yeah,
guys, you guys play, and I think you'd play three teams at once this
yeah,
match because
yeah.
this year, because
Four high schools.
so you'd be four high schools and we were one of them. So
Hmm.
you'd be up against three of them. And if you finished ahead in that day, then you'd win. But if you were like behind, it'd be like however many you were ahead of, you'd win. And how many you were behind, you'd lose.
Yeah. So if we were to go into a match and against the three teams, the three high schools, how we would beat them all is if we had the highest points, which is Stapleford
Stapleford,
points.
yeah.
Uh, so like let's say if we had like 79 and then like the teams had like 76 or like 60 or like 50, then we would come out of that day 3-0.
Yeah.
Uh, and the only match, or the only one like kind of team that we lost to was our first match at Bethlehem Country Club against Messinic, who ended up coming second that year. Uh, I didn't have the best day. I only had like 20 points that day. Um, Zach Hopper had a good day. He had like 24, but their number one he shot like 3 under. He went really off that day. He got 30 points himself,
Wow.
and his number two got like 24. So if I could have helped more, but it was pretty tough to win. And of course, Coach Chase, he's like, "Good job, guys. Now we can't go 30 and out."
It
Too
was
big on the
opening
bus.
day.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Stableford system. Can
Hmm.
you explain how that works to people who might not know? I just learned about that a
Hmm.
couple months ago when I went out to go see you guys play.
Yeah. So the Stapleford system, it's interesting. So you can you can get different points for the different scores that you have. So let's say if I get like a birdie, that would be 4 points, and then it goes like down from there. So birdie's 4 points, a par's 3 points, a bogey's only two, and then a double is one. And then if you get like a triple double, we ask you to pick up at a double bogey or like a triple double. So like uh or triple bogey. So let's say you're on like a par four and you get a 5, that would be 2 points and stuff like that. So it's interesting. It makes the game, if you shoot like bogey golf, so if you get bogeys all day, which will be like on a regular golf course, that would be like a 45, you would get 18 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you play 9 holes,
Yeah.
for most of your matches, right? Except for
Um, I
championship.
mean, it's after school, you can't play
Yeah.
18 usually, but yeah, the except for the championship, yeah, it's 18 and individuals.
So let's get into specifics of this season.
Mhm.
What would you say are the most noteworthy matches, points, shots, whatever?
Um, I think the most noteworthy matches, I mean, I had a good match, the match that you came
Yeah.
to, Laconia. I shot one over that day, which was my best of the season. Uh, but the other matches, we had a lot of tough matches like later on in the season, which really showed how much like grit and determination we had to win those. Because we were going against like Woodsville and like look Messinic, and remember that. And then we went against Woodsville and Fall Mountain, which Fall Mountain, they have a good kid. He's pretty good, Mitchell Cormer. Um, and it showed that we had, I feel like what made us really good this year is we had a lot of depth. Like it wasn't, I was up there like holding my place, right? But our number 2, our number 3, and our number 4, even our number 5 and 6 were really like getting in the double digits compared to like other teams where even their number 3 wasn't even getting in the double
Wow.
digits. And that's really cool to me because that shows that like for the future of golf, for Hopkinton at least, it's like
It's
really,
bright.
yeah, it's bright because we lost 3 seniors and 2 seniors were in the top 4.
Wow. Okay.
We'll see. It'll be interesting for them though.
So do you feel like there were players who helped you out along the way in early in your career, and do you feel like you've been able to do the same for the golf team with some other players?
Yeah. So I remember my freshman year, Danny Miner. He was very nice to me because I was shocked because I was a freshman coming into it, so I was like, oh geez, I'm a freshman or whatever
Hmm.
you say. Uh, but he kind of he talked to me on the bus and he was like kind of showing me pointers and stuff, and he was a pretty good inspiration to see how like to lead a golf team. Like he was very good at bringing the team together, I feel like. So I kind of took off what he did and just my personal points of leading a golf team, and took that into my own hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely Danny Miner and then Andrew Fairneny. I mean, he's my brother, so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to play with him. I never played with my older brother. He was a bit older. We're 2 years apart, so when one's a senior, one's a freshman, that type of deal. So we got to play with Andrew's the only one to play with both of us,
All right.
both brothers. I have 2 brothers.
Yeah. What's your other brother's name?
Nicholas Fairneny,
Okay.
Nick Fairneny. He was really good. He's probably one of the best for Hopkinton golf ever. Um, he they did not win a championship, but he won like individuals in 2 years, yeah, or something. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, probably.
Okay, that's all right. You
Yeah.
don't have to know the whole history of everything, but let's talk about your final match up at in the White Mountains this year. It was the
Yeah.
championship
Mount
match.
Washington Country
Yeah,
Club.
Mount Washington.
Mount Washington. So that I love that course. It's like probably my top 2 favorite course in New Hampshire. It's a very fun course. I suggest anyone should play it if you play golf. Um, but going into the day, my brother, his record for like the 18 holes on like for a championship in high
Hmm.
school golf, Nick, this was a what was it? It was a 77. So coach really wanted me to beat that. He really wanted me to beat that, so I had that over him. And I went into the day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a good day today. I played this course. I played it. How many times did I practice? I practiced 3 times. So I went up, took that drive all the way up. It's like an hour and 40 minutes. Played
Wow.
3 times. Uh, which I can't. I mean, I have to shout out like Bronson's dad, Mr. Ammon, for he drove me up twice, and my dad drove me up once. Um, but it was a good day. I started off very well. I got a birdie on the first hole. I
Uh-huh.
made a very long putt, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna heat up now." And then like the second hole, I think I got like a triple bogey or something, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
dang, I'm gonna suck today." And then I got like I went like a bogey, and it was a lot. It was a very interesting day. It was one of those days where you get like uh, a lot of birdies. Like I had a lot of birdies. Okay, so I had a triple bogey on the second hole and I shot 3 over on the first front nine, so that was the only like hiccup. And then the back nine, I had a double bogey on a par five, and I shot 2 over in the back. So if those were two
Yeah.
pars, I was shooting like par golf. But I ended up tying with my brother. I shot a 77 that day,
Wow.
and I had a putt to beat him, and I didn't make it. But I didn't know I was gonna beat him at that point. But looking back at it, I was like, oh, could have made that putt. But it was a good day. Didn't end up how we wanted to. We went into it first, um, very confident. But some of us didn't have the best days, and it was sad. It was a tough pill to swallow, but I mean, everyone goes through up and downs in their high school career. So that was definitely pretty low, but it
Yeah.
was good, coming out of it. It was, just looking back on the year, it was good friendships, good team. Yeah.
So as somebody who's been in homeschool, was
Mhm.
it really important for you to develop those friendships that you wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to have otherwise? Probably because, you don't go to our school. So
Well, yeah, so I've been homeschooled my whole life. I've always like my mom made it a point to like she made like groups, like she made a like nonprofit group for homeschooling. So she always made a point that I would get like, that connection with people or whatever. But it's I've always loved playing on the golf team because I can tell that the people who are playing, I can tell the people who really like golf, and I love golf myself. It's
yeah.
my passion. So I'm just around people who love golf. So and a lot of the people that have played on the golf team are really cool, in my opinion. Like especially this year, it was really like everyone on the golf team liked everyone. Like
So you had
everyone
great
liked everyone.
chemistry as a
Oh
team.
yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
so good. Like on the bus, there was never a dull moment on the bus, at least for me.
So what are you going to take away and would you learn from this experience of playing high school golf?
It's definitely made me a better person. Especially Coach Chase and Coach Ari or Coach Richter. They've made me a better person in general in life. Uh, what am I going to take away from it? A lot of things, friendship, team, a good team. Definitely like pretty lifelong friends. Like I know Bronson, like we still like hang out sometimes, and Zach Hopper, I mean, he's my neighbor. He lives up the road. But yeah, it was a good year, and I'm gonna definitely look back and be like, wow, we went 29-1 that year.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good times, and me and Cody Dexter. I mean, he's my best friend. He's in Air Force. He's in the Air Force right now, the service. So I'm seeing him soon. He's coming back for Christmas, so I'm excited to see him.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always great to have those reunions.
Oh
So
yeah.
after you end up, finishing up your homeschool high
hmm
school, tell everybody what you're going to end up doing or you expect.
So I'm looking to go into the golf field, of course. I mean, it's my love. But I'm looking to do the PGM program. So the PGM program is pro golf management. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm not going to go to college. the way you can do it is you could either go to college or you could do it the way I'm doing it. So you can take the PGM program online.
Mhm.
You just need a PGA pro to mentor you. So I have an interview. I'm going to a bunch of interviews, hopefully this next 2 weeks, to try and find a job for the spring here. So I get that mentor, that PGM mentor, so I can take the program online and then get
Alright.
my PGM card and then play golf in Florida.
So what does the PGM card do for you?
I mean, so you can manage a golf course. Your PGM card is for golf management, so you can manage a golf course. You can be a pro at a golf course. The main goal is I want to be like a pro at a golf course who trains. Like I want to be like a trainer.
So you want to
So
be kind of like a coach to a
yeah,
certain extent?
yeah. So like a coach for, like helping the young kids or whatever, learn how to play golf for like old people. I've trained how many people now? About I think double digits on
Wow.
how to play golf and how to, just to get better at golf and stuff like that. And I love doing it. I love working. I love the golf swing. I think it's a science. And it's so like it's interesting because you could wake up the next day and it's like one small muscle could hurt and that throws off your whole golf swing.
Uh,
So it's definitely yeah, I'm definitely gonna go into that as a profession.
all right. Well, good luck to you. Thank you for coming on. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
of course.
So yeah,
Very
so
fun.
wishing you the best, and I'm glad that everybody gets to hear about golf now. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.